You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird brain, it's a plane, it's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
iWalter. Hey, folks, it's Friday morning, and I'm trying to do another show as my voice is kind of recuperating from this agonizing cold I've had, or this bronchitis. It's slowly getting there. Apologize, I'm going to be doing a lot of sniffling for quite a while, I think. Yeah, you know what? It was kind of interesting. Well, one thing, I got home. Unfortunately, I live with my parents. I'm almost 50. Not a very pleasing thing to acknowledge. But I came home, and by the way, I bought my parents this afternoon, try to be nice once in a while and, give them some stuff. They do me a lot of favors. They do a lot of running around for me, which I do appreciate. So don't get me wrong. I appreciate that. But I bought them 2 pretzels. I went over to this Wawa Wawa around our house. And, I figured, hey, my mom and my dad likes their pretzels. A friend of mine likes them too, my friend Todd. So I buy him 2 pretzels, and I'm like trying to get relaxed a little bit before work. And my dad asked me, he said, "Oh, what happened to those pretzels you bought us?" And it was like, well, I left them on the kitchen table for you. So all day and all night, it was been bugging me. I was like, okay, I know I brought the bag in with 2 pretzels from Wawa and left it on the kitchen table. They insisted that I forgot to get them from Wawa, like I purchased them and left them there. It's like, no, I remembered distinctly put them on the table because my mom bought me some stuff yesterday at some restaurant they went to. They bought me a small Greek salad, because I like anchovies, and the Greek salads have the anchovies. So does Caesar salads, but not a lot of places don't do that. So anyway, I got to cough real quick. Sorry about that, folks. I gave my mom $10. I said, okay, here, I left $10 on your bureau for you, and I left pretzels. I distinctly remember this. Oh, no, you didn't. So tonight, I'm like, it's bugging me. I come home. I get home like around 1 o'clock in the morning. Come in the house, and, because they're awake still. And I asked them, you know what, that's still bugging me about these pretzels. So anyway, looking around the house, we're tearing everything apart because it woke up my parents. Well, they were awake anyway. They weren't even sound asleep yet. So anyway, they look everywhere. I look in the garbage cans. I look everywhere. I can't find these freaking pretzels. I swore that I bought for them. Lo and behold, they show up in a linen closet next to my parents' bathroom. And I was like, okay, so you think I stuck those in the linen closet? It's like, no. And I know my mom, she's very absent-minded. She's been like that. I'm absent-minded sometimes, but not that bad. She swears up and down it must have been my father who did it. It was like, no, it was you. You see things, you got to put it away. You got to clean up things while you're still using it. Like if I'm shaving, I have my own bathroom. I have my own section of the house. And I'll be downstairs washing up, shaving or something, and she's got to clean the mirror at that point. Like, okay, or dry out the sink. It's like, okay, well, I'm kind of shaving. You probably want to wait until I'm done if you want to do anything, which I will do myself. I'm not that lazy. But it just drives me insane. And now that I knew it was her, my mother, sticking pretzels in a linen closet, and she's denying it. It's like, no, it wasn't me, it was your father. It's like, no, it was you. So, anyway, I also highlighted my aggravating day. But, it was funny. I come home, and they're showing a Halloween special on this one show on this Me Entertainment, which are Me stands for, on the TV station, memorable entertainment. So I'm watching it. It's a show on called McMillan and Wife, which, by the way, the one woman who, it's funny because it's got Robert, what is it, Rock? You know what? I got to look it up again. No, I guess that's not it. Sorry, folks. I was trying to look. It's called McMillan and Wife. The one guy, you find out years later, he was gay, died of AIDS. So that's why I'm kind of looking for it. Yeah, let's see. Sorry about that. Don't like Dead Space. Anyway, the episode was called The Devil You Say. Rock Hudson, yeah, he plays the husband. It was like, when you look at Rock Hudson, he doesn't remind you of a gay man. So I don't understand that. And the one who plays his wife is Susan St. James, which I think she was hot looking. I think she was incredible looking. I'm almost afraid to find a picture of what she looks like now, but back in the, early 70s, she was incredible looking. She was really hot. Anyway, this particular episode he was a character actor, basically. This guy named Werner Kempler, who played in Hogan's Heroes. He's the bald-headed guy who played, Colonel Klink, I think. I can't remember, but anyway, the guy, he's a character actor, and it's strange because he is German in real life, and he played a Nazi in Hogan's Heroes. I mean, it was a comedy, but yeah, he really was German. He was born in Germany. But this is the first time I've actually heard him trying to play or portray himself as an American in this McMillan and Wife, because normally I've seen him in other shows. I think it was it was actually Night Gallery, and he has his regular voice. He really does have a German accent, but on this he had an American accent, which was very impressive because, and it was a Halloween special, obviously, because it had these people that were kind of like warlocks or something. Anyway, it was a pretty interesting episode. I never saw it, and I'm always trying to get an eye full of Susan St. James when she was younger, because she was really hot. So I'm trying to watch that. My dad's banging doors at 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to get stuff. I don't know why, but it definitely kept me losing my concentration. So yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of me coming home. Work wasn't that great tonight either, but there was some interesting things that I could discuss. But I just don't understand. I mean, I work at a job. These people work. I'm not going to say where I work. I kind of disguised where I work, I think, pretty well. But I work at a place that I get paid the least amount of money out of everybody. I get paid $32 an hour to do basically glorified janitor work. Unfortunately, everybody else gets paid much more than I do. And, they feel like it almost is they're deserving of what they don't do. But yet they work. We get overtime where I work. The job I work, you get a lot of overtime. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any. And they expect me to do all this work that would have been done on overtime on straight time, whilst you have other people who get a plethora of overtime and don't do hardly anything. Like they do almost a third or an eighth of what I do in less than 40 hours when they get about 90 hours. And they get paid more too. So, I want to put that in there, in that niche again. So, I'm not a happy camper. I'm getting over this bronchitis, and it's not helping that I'm getting myself run down again while other people are sitting on their, fat ass and doing absolutely hardly anything. And then, it's like overgrown children. It's like people. It reminds me of being like I'm taking care of infants. Like these people are supposed to be grown adults, but they pretty much act like children. And it's really, it's mind-boggling. It drives me crazy. And that's a short drive. I made that joke a million times, and it's true, though. So anyway, I've, barely get my breaks. But tonight I decided, you know what? I'm going to break my sobriety on not stealing anything. And I think they kind of put it out there, CBS, of Supergirl. And it's like, okay, this is driving me crazy. I'm like, it's going to be until I'm going to have to wait till November to watch the pilot episode. And there was things I disagreed with what they did on the previews. They had a lengthy preview, so it was like, okay, I just want to see this damn thing now. So I broke my sobriety at work. I figure I'm going to do it there, and I downloaded Supergirl off this website called Kick-Ass, and I used this program called BitTorrent. So it was like, okay, I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to get rid of it as soon as I'm done watching, which I did. So I no longer have it on my computer. I downloaded it on, thank God, and I'm happy. But I was surprised that it was actually really good. I was really surprised. They changed Jimmy Olsen into an African American, which I never understood, because Jimmy Olsen was always this white American dorky kid. Now he's this African American who's like well-built guy, good-looking guy. He's got a shaved head too. Jimmy Olsen had hair. And I just didn't understand the whole premise. I still am like kind of scratching my head. It's like, this dude is a really good actor, though, who plays Jimmy Olsen. This actor who's an African American. But you're kind of changing it. And the way they got around this, though, they had a dorky guy who plays Supergirl's best friend. And kind of like he's got a love interest for, Clara. I think it's Clara, Supergirl. So they basically divided the character Jimmy Olsen into being politically correct in one hand by making the character an African American, but then on the other hand, they made this other character, which I don't know if he existed or not, that is like the alter ego of what Jimmy Olsen really is like. So I didn't understand that. Now, I know they did that with Smallville, where Clark Kent's best friend was Pete Ross. And Pete Ross, I heard in the comic, I never really read the comics, was a white guy, and they changed him into an African American. And it seemed to do pretty well. I'm thinking this will probably do the same thing, or do well. But they made the guy more macho, too, the one who plays Jimmy Olsen. And Jimmy Olsen is not a macho guy. So there was a lot of things I didn't like. Spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you now, if anybody is actually listening, turn off the radio for about a minute or two, or just fast forward, I should say. But at the very end of the thing, there was a woman named General. They didn't say General Zod, but it was kind of indicating that General Zod now is a woman. So, I was kind of like, okay, you got to be politically correct, not in just one way. You got to be politically correct in every way. So I thought that was a little kind of like, okay, everybody knows General Zod by now from Smallville, from Superman 2, and I guess even the remake of Superman. This last version, they had General Zod, and he was always a guy. Now he's a woman. I'm assuming that's the direction they're going. So anyway, I don't know, because apparently this general was also from Krypton. So that was my gripes. Overall, though, I thought the episode was really good. Even with the actors they picked. They got a really good selection of actors. I really liked Supergirl. I was really shocked. I was afraid she was going to be horrible. And I always thought, which I probably am already saying too much, but I always thought, according to the premise of the comic book, which I never read, that technically Clara is older than Jor-El. And they kind of explain what happened in the movie, in the show, the pilot. The pilot's only 42 minutes, I think. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. I think they're doing it off of the Superman. That's why they're probably pushing it till November, which actually won't make a difference. But this is supposed to be in the same umbrella of the reboot that was just put out. The guy who plays Superman now, who's going to be also in Superman versus Batman, or Batman versus Superman. It's that same universe. So they kind of indicated that in the show. So the villains were pretty cool because the villains all basically they're blaming Clara or Supergirl for this, but she got stuck, which they did do in the movie too. She got stuck in that prison that's basically out of time. I can't remember the name of it now. The what do you call it zone? Something like that. Because I know they mention it in Smallville. Well, she got stuck in there, but then she ended up getting out. And she also released a crapload of villains that were stuck. Oh, the Phantom Zone. So she got stuck in the Phantom Zone, but then she gets out and she lets all these criminals out. And that's what the show is going to be based upon is, Supergirl collecting all these villains that she let escape unintentionally. So that was really good. That's a really good premise. I think the show has a lot of potential. And it kind of grabbed from different sources, I think. And I think it's got I definitely am looking forward to it now. I have to finish out The Flash when I ever feel like doing so. But I'll have to say that The Flash and Supergirl are going to be two of my favorite shows right now. Judging from what I had seen. They didn't waste any time, which I'm kind of glad, on the premise of her getting a costume. They made sure not to waste any time. They didn't do it like they did with Smallville, where you had to wait 10 years to see Clark Kent fly. I mean, they made sure in the first half hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, that she basically didn't waste any time. Let's skip all the nonsense. Let's get right into the action. And trust me, that show has a ton of action. So, it was really, really. I'm actually looking forward to it. I just downloaded it because I wanted to see what it was all about. But I had every intention to actually probably buy it on iTunes for a season pass, or maybe even Amazon. So anyway. Yeah, it's something this fall to look forward to. My hunch is that the way these copies are really good, they don't have any time code on there. These were a deliberate leak by CBS themselves. I just personally did not want to take the chance and find out that it wasn't and have my internet turned off. I couldn't afford to do that. I got to get something to drink, so I'm going to turn away from the mic. Overall, though, I thought it was very entertaining. Sorry to have dead airspace. I just had to take a swallow. When you have bronchitis, you're always thirsty. You should actually be drinking water. I'm drinking sugary iced tea, soda, and everything else that's bad for you. Anyway, I'm looking at my Facebook page. Sorry about that. And unfortunately, I got a plethora, a whole bunch of articles again from the Suicide Squad. And I swear to God, they have this one thing, and it's from, I think, comicbook.com. Yeah, comicbookmovie.com. And it's titled, Some Great Close-Ups of Batsuit in the Latest Suicide Squad Set. And I swear to God, it looks like, sorry about that, but I can't say it, but it looks just like Ben Affleck. And apparently it's not. It's a stunt double. So, as I was saying, I'm just really hoping that Ben Affleck does not do it. I don't want to see the man, destroy his chances of actually doing a decent Batman versus Superman. I really think he may, unfortunately, be in this horrible Suicide Squad movie. Now, don't get me wrong, because this woman, Roby, who plays Harley Quinn, she is really hot looking, but I just think the premise is all wrong. The Joker really does just look like a joke. I mean, I've seen different adaptations of the Joker over the years by different actors, and I think this has got to be the worst one I've seen yet. I'm sure he's a really good actor. I can't remember his name, and you know what? I really don't even want to know. But it's going to be a pile of crap. Anyway, yeah, there was an article, and then there was another one hours later from comicbook.com, and it says more Suicide Squad, Batman versus the Joker action. Margaret Robbie, Harley Quinn returns to set. And it's just more and more. Like, they don't leave anything out. It's just constantly, every so many hours, they put up another story on. I bet if I looked right now, there'd be another one on the Suicide Squad. I mean, they're just not, it's nonstop. So, anyway, there was this funny article I saw. I didn't really read it, so I apologize. But it was on the Daily Mail, and it said, basically this person makes for their goldfish, a goldfish owner, he makes, it says, quote unquote, a wheelchair that helps it float upright using tape and a cork. So he basically looks like some type of like Scotch tape with a cork, because I guess if a fish is, especially a goldfish, if their float breaks, because that's how that keeps them buoyant underwater, they will basically capsize. They're turned upside down. I've seen that with fish, and by that point, usually the poor fish is going to die because it can't swim. So this guy made a little crazy contraption to help the fish stay upright so it won't, capsize or whatever. So it was pretty funny. That was, I think I said it already, but I'll say it again, thedailymail.com. That was yesterday. There was some article, I looked at it, and it's like, people are going crazy with those 3D printers, but it's a working Wolverine claw made with a 3D printer. I think it's kind of ridiculous looking. They're actually asking for a crap load of money to be donated for this project. And it's like, okay, I've seen ones you can buy in the toy store that'll probably be a fraction of what you want just for contributions for this crazy idea of making a Wolverine out of a 3D printer, a Wolverine claw. I mean, it's semi-impressive because it actually works off of muscle contractions. There's like little diodes that go stick, there's little things you stick to your skin when you get like a cardiogram or something. That's incorporated into the claw, and it reacts to your muscle movements. But still, I just think it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, here, talking about it ridiculous. I hope this is not true, but I've seen this on a web page too. It says Urban Cowboy remake in the works at Fox, and this was on Entertainment Weekly. It's a rather old movie, but it was with, at its height with John Travolta, and now they want to remake that movie. It's an 80s movie, and it's like, can't anybody come up with a great idea that's original or something different besides just remaking everything under the sun? Anyway, I had to pull this one story out to put on my Facebook page for my friend Matt. I'm not going to read it. I haven't read it yet. But it's on the dailymail.com, and it's titled, Porn Actors Will Have to Wear Goggles Under New California Regulations. I'm going to have to mail it to my friend, too. It says the proposals want porn producers to pay for medical visits, provide condoms, and pay for hepatitis B treatments. In some porn industries, they feel the measures are too extreme. It says the Free Speech Coalition said that these are regulations designed for the medical settings and are unworkable on an adult film set. And then it says in 2013, the porn industry imposed several industry-wide moratoriums after the HIV outbreak. I really don't take too much interest in this whole deal, but it is pretty funny because they show this chick, she's got on a face shield, a full face shield, and she's ready to do this guy in the picture. It's on the UK mail, and the guy's got safety goggles on. So I guess you got to wear PPE just to have sex now, even in porn. So I thought that was freaking hilarious. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, I got some other ridiculous stories I'm not going to go into a lot of depth about. I haven't done that in a while. Dreamin' Demon had a story about this woman, Nicole Parker, accused of slitting her husband's throat with a pocket knife. That actually went up tonight, so I really could care less. I mean, these stories just are anymore. They're a dime a dozen, and they just become more and more pathetic. This is one that kind of slipped through the cracks when I found it. Again, on the Dreamin' Demon, it was called Couple Charged with Murder of a 3-Year-Old Found Dead Weighing 15 Pounds. So that's another one on the Dreamin' Demon. Again, I'm just trying to save my voice. I was just kind of glancing through some things. My main highlights tonight were watching Supergirl. That was my main intention. I thought it was really good. I would definitely recommend looking into it. I'm not telling anybody go download this because that's the last thing I want to get in people's heads that I, approve. I had a year sobriety, over a year, I guess, pretty much, of downloading things illegally. I pay for everything I watch at this point. But they just put so many freaking teasers out about Supergirl. I just had to see it for myself. And now I'm going to wait until November to probably, watch the show. And I'm actually definitely looking forward to it. I will say that. So, anyway, it was kind of funny. I think I found this on a friend of a friend's website on Facebook, a Facebook page, and I had to look at it because the picture looked kind of interesting. It looked pretty creepy, but it looked interesting. Some old movie with Vincent Price. It was dated 1970. It was called Scream and Scream Again. So it is out there for free for anybody to watch if you like vintage films. Like, Vincent Price is known for his horror. I mean, it's not gory horror. It's just more classic horror. So I saw this guy posted on his webpage. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it was. It was like, yeah, I found this poster from Germany, ironically enough, or somewhere over in that area, where they had a poster of this woman being, the sketch poster of this woman being disintegrated in some vat of acid as the poster promo. And I was like, okay, this is pretty weird. Let me check out what it is. And it mentioned it's a Vincent Price film. Obviously, the movie is more timid than the poster shows it to be. And again, it was called Scream and Scream Again. And I found it on DailyMotion.com. So I was going to watch it eventually. I figured I had the time to do so. Other than that, folks, we are heading to another weekend. I am going to cut it off so I don't have to recompile my audio. So everyone, have a good Friday morning. I am signing off.